Ah, Dom, how are you? It seems like it's been such a long time.
I know. When was it last time? Was it Japan or something?
It may well have been. It feels like an age.
I think we saw each other again.
Yeah, we've seen. No, I saw you at, in London. It's London, but
right.
Synthfest has been a long time. It's great to be back. This is 3 years in, and you being the MODX king, you're showing us the MODX Plus, right? Which is the new baby.
Well, I don't know about the king stuff, but yeah, I'm going to show you what we have right here. This is the successor to the MODX, the original one, and there are some really substantial improvements right here. This brings it a little bit closer to its big brother, the Montage. So the big things that we have here that I knew are, first of all, we have double the polyphony for the FMX engine. So 128 notes. So in total, it's 256 notes of polyphony. And I'm going to just play a sound so that you can see how this translates into multi-layered sounds. Like this one, as you can see here. This has 8 parts, FM, AW, M2, all these things. And you will see how complex just one single performance is. So I'm going to start, and you know, we have a arpeggiator there. So now I can introduce a little bit more, you know, some more waves there. And
wow, that's a bit epic.
so, I mean, this is possible because we have all these notes of polyphony now. So I had some, you know, aggressive FM layers down here. Then, of course, all the arpeggios, all the extra, you know, synths that come in, all the layers, you know, some other arpeggios here. So you can create really, really complex sounds. And I think this is where this synth shines at. You know, you can really start creating really complex big sounds. Let me play another one for you. This is more of a kind of CS80 inspired kind of sound. So it has the extended LFO, of course, so you can do...
Hold on a minute, I just want to talk about the fact that you had the courage not to drench that in effects. Well done to you, sir. You have better...
Thank you.
Better than me in that respect.
I'm glad you appreciate that. This is a big compliment. No, you don't need to. That's a great thing. You know, this actually is just a single part. 2 oscillators, so basically 2 elements, but because there's this extended LFO, they kind of drift a little bit, so you can emulate analog sounds really easily. So it doesn't need effects, it sounds lush. And then if you want to add like some more, but then you have, of course, the option to program this to death and say, you know what, I want to just change all the envelopes and turn them into fast.
And that's just on the assign button?
Yeah. Oh, nice. So you can do anything you want. This is all programmable in here. You don't have to have an editor or something like this. Let me show you something that could be interesting for many people, you know. It's the FM engine, and, you know, some, you know, seasoned users might know about this, but this is the smart morph. So you can get many different FM sounds and then use AI to create a really, really unique sound that actually morphs. So I can have this bass, okay, this is an FM bass, very typical FM, you know, punchy, but with low end. And then you can actually say I'm going to use my super knob and move across all these different paths. So I can have this one, single part by the way, right? Go to C number 2, number 3, punchy, woody, you know, and so on and so forth.
Right, so they're sort of macro presets, effectively.
Yeah, exactly, because this, basically every point of this is a different sound. Of course, now I have some reverb and so on and so forth, but let me show you. For example, if I go here, see how many different sounds you can get.
Yeah, I think we looked at that, and you can modulate that as well, can't you?
Exactly, exactly. So you can have a motion sequencer and move across all these things. Like, I'll show you a very sound that does exactly this. This is the Morph, the EP. So there are many EP sounds in this, but see, but it goes like this. And then if I stop modulating this, I have all these different EPs.
I feel a Boys to Men hit coming on. What about
The great thing is, when you do this way, you only have one part. So you have all these different sounds, and you don't have to switch to different performances, or you know, you have everything in scenes, or you can just go in between. So it's really, really powerful. The same with like something like this. You know, this is all FM. And it looks funky as well. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You don't even have to play.
There is a sequencer or patterns, or pattern arpeggiator, I forget which. I did review or did have a look at the MODX, and I had a lot of fun just putting together kind of riffs and ideas. Is that what this is good at?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, one of the great things with the MODX is that you can say, okay, I'm going to select, for example, this, you know, bass sound, and you can hit the rhythm pattern here, and now you can select very, very quickly any one of these, you know, drum kits, and you immediately have a pattern.
Nice. Can you program those beats yourself and bring those in? Does it work that way as well?
Well, if you create an arpeggio, yes, then you can do this.
Okay.
But you have to create your own arpeggios. But, you know, quite frankly, there are so many of them right there. If you just hit that, you know, you have all these different drum kits and arpeggios. So you also have envelope folder, which is a really, really cool feature. I'm not sure if many people know about this, but basically you can take any sound, especially percussive sounds. Let's say you take like a drum kit with a drum loop, and then you can modulate anything inside the engine. So you can say, I want to modulate a filter, or I want to modulate a compressor, so you can do side chain. You can do all these things, and especially when you have a nice rhythmic element like a drum loop or a pattern, that means you can actually mute this and you get all these crazy rhythmic effects, and everybody's like, oh, how did you do this? What kind of step sequencer did you use? It's actually the envelope folder, and it's really, really powerful.
Nice.
What else is new? The flash memory has been doubled, so it's like 175 gigs of memory. So if you want to load more libraries, you can do this.
Has the load speed changed? Because I mean, flash memory can be a little bit on the sluggish side. Is it?
It's still the same. So it's the same like the Montage now. But once it's loaded, the great thing is it's instant recall. So when you want to load a sound, you won't have to wait. You won't load any samples. It's gonna load instantly because it's flash.
Right.
So you have to wait for once. And then
is that on each power up, or does it stay resident in memory on power cycle?
It stays on until you delete the library. So if you install, for example, the Bosendorfer library, which is like a hefty one, and that's what this is useful. It's useful for people that want to load like maybe the Bosendorfer and also some other libraries. You have all this memory now, and you can actually do this. And the thing is, you tour with this. You go to a different country, the sounds are going to load instantly. Unless you say, okay, you know, I want to load some different samples, and then you just delete the library.
Can you load that stuff from flash drives and stuff? I'm just thinking of people who maybe want to hire stuff and just turn up with a thumb drive and go, here's all my stuff, load it from this.
Yeah, that's how you do it actually.
Oh, right.
You use a thumb drive, and then you load all the libraries, because this has, of course, because an audio interface, you know, you can connect your, I think I can see it, it's right here.
To host.
That's where you plug it in, and then you can load your libraries from here. And also there's sound mode, so you can have sounds stored on your phone or your tablet. You can create set lists, and you can have it here. It's really nice. I think they designed it like this.
Yeah, plenty of room for it. Well, I'd say that would take a 16, no?
Yeah, exactly. So you can just go ahead and just load sounds from there. The only difference is with Sound Mondo, it cannot load the samples, obviously, because it's online, and but it can load anything that uses the internal waveforms or the FMX engine. And the other thing that's new is that, you know, something that some people will appreciate, I think, it's these wheels. These are like the same like the Montage. They're just a little bit more, you know.
So yeah, you're getting a lot of Montage for your MODX.
Yeah, it's very close now. It's very close. It's still, you know, the Montage still has some other stuff that, you know, you can't replicate. The more physical controls, you know, the balanced outputs and all these things. But this is like it's light. You know, it's a 88 key, and I can just lift it like that. And I'm not a big guy, so you know, you can carry this anywhere you go. It's not going to break your back. It's great for touring. In the studio, it has the audio interface, so you can record to it if you don't have another audio interface. You can control your DAW. It has DAW control, so Cubase, Logic, whatever you have, you can control this. But I think that, you know, the increase in polyphony with the FMX, it's just, if you're creating super complex sounds, you will really appreciate this.
And you could just stick your foot on the sustain pedal and not worry about it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. It wasn't really a problem with the original, but, you know, the 128 definitely helps if you want to layer multiple FMX parts and go crazy.
Nice. Maybe you could play us out with just a little bit of an outro. I want to say, by the way, Dom, loving your videos on the Instagram.
I'm humbled.
Excellent stuff.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play some sounds. Let me play something that's a little bit different. Maybe something synthy or something AWM. I'm gonna play like a patch that is very, very nice for like film composers. And again, it's all about the programming. You know, this is like a piano sound. It's a little bit dark for a film composer, kind of you know, cinematic stuff. But basically, what I've done is I've sent this to a separate part, duplicated the part, removed the dry signal, added reverb and delay, and pitched it up 1 octave. So you get this beautiful sound, you know. So you hear all these kind of delays, but they're all pitched up 1 octave. That's because I'm using multiple parts. And of course, many, many more things are going on there. But, you know, this is, you know, some ideas, because I think that if you start programming this and you start getting into the nitty-gritty, you know, into the engines, you can do some sounds that you can't really recreate easily anywhere else. So I'm gonna play some more. Maybe, what about, let's see, this one. This is very, very kind of abstract, called Ice Walkers. All these are in the actual machines, right? So it's not like any secret preset or anything custom. So this sounds like this.
Thank you very much, Dom. A pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Good to see you.